Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thanks very much for joining me today. You already know what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at this bad boy there, the Zero DS. It's an all-electric motorbike. Is it even a motorbike? We'll find out. But first and foremost, thanks very much to Pidcocks down at Long Eaton for lending me this crazy bit of tech. Without any further ado, let's crack on with the first 2 minutes. Let's go. Okay, so I've got 2 minutes now to quickly talk about this. This bike's going to set you back £12,690. That's it. No more than that, no less. For that, you're going to get a charging cable that sits in the front there, and the world is your oyster as long as you're going no more than 100 miles in one day, in one charge really. So for that, you're going to get a bike that weighs 187 kilos, dry and wet. It's always going to be 187 kilos, no matter what. It's going to cost you £2.68 to charge up from empty. Now, if you're going to charge it overnight, it's going to take 9 hours to do that from empty. However, if you're out on a little blast with your mates, when they go to the chippy, you can go to Morrison's, you can go and have a couple hour or an hour, and you should be able to get a good bit of charging in a couple hours on a quick charge. Needs a different cable for that, means a little bit more money. It is the equivalent of about 60 brake horsepower, I've been told. So we're looking at your average 500cc motorbikes today, equivalent of a CB 500. They make 47, so it's got a little bit more than that. But the weird thing is, it's got no motors that's telling you that you've got an engine that's 60 brake horsepower underneath you. For your money as well, you get some nice suspension, and it is nice suspension, and you get these Pirelli sort of semi-off-road tyres. Now, the bike being 187 kilos, you can feel it. You really can feel it. So I'm no off-roader. I'd be all right going on dust tracks on it, but I certainly wouldn't want to be going off-roading on that, especially not when the key thing about this bike, which is that really expensive battery, is sat right in the middle. So it is what it is. Seat height, I'm 5'8". I sit on that fine. It looks tall, doesn't it? Check that bad boy out. It looks tall, but it's not too bad. Bike sinks. Without any further ado, let's go on to a little bit about the bike. Okay, so I've got 2 minutes now to quickly talk about this. Let's start at the front. It's always the best part. So the tyres I quickly spoke about, they're really good. It's got Pirellis on it. They're like semi-off-roads. They give plenty of feedback. It's got a single disc just sat on the front there. Now, people would complain that most modern bikes have got a twin on the front. In all honesty, it doesn't need it. But check this bad boy out. Now, this is either a good or a bad thing. For me, that looks like a Lex Moto. You've just spent nearly 13 grand on a bike, and I'm cruising around on a jazzed up Lex Moto that doesn't even make a good noise like a Lex Moto. Anyway, it is what it is. I can't tell you about the lights because I've not seen them on. It's got some really big, chunky indicators, so nice if you want to be seen. No LEDs, I'm sure there's an option there for that. It's got really good wing mirrors. Now, most people won't talk about wing mirrors. I'm going to. There's no vibrations, so they work really well. It's got different, and you'll see here, the button, that's how you change your riding modes. Nice and easy dash to use, although it's worthy of note that you actually physically have to keep looking down at it, so it takes your eyes off the road, which is a little bit weird when you first get used to it. But the dial telling you what speed you're doing is nice and easy to read. Under here, hey, check this out. Got a kettle lead, so when you're out with the mates, put brews on, jobs are good in. But that means you can get charged up. If you're popping around to your friend's house, you can do that. The great big battery, that's where the money's at. 14.4 kilowatts by all accounts. And check this out, in the frame, it's got some lovely holes. And pop your drinks in, how good's that? But the pegs are good. And you know what, the riding position's dead nice as well. There's no vibrations though throughout the whole of the bike. And finally, I've got about 3 seconds left. It's belt driven, so it keeps it nice and smooth. And that's a quick stop tour around the bike. So I now got 2 minutes to sum this up. Bet you think I don't like it. Do you know what? I do. And that's the worst thing about it. I got on that expecting to not like it. And you've seen Andy whizzing around in the background. He didn't want to like it either. But it's dead good. It doesn't give you the involvement. It doesn't give you the adrenaline and all the that you get with an engine, with the vibrations that are coming through the handlebars, they feel through the pegs, or just the noise that tells you they're on a motorbike. But what you get is a bike that's really easy to ride. And it sort of, yeah, you lose a lot of the life that is part of biking, but what you gain is simplicity from riding it, and it is so easy to ride. You can disengage your brain to a certain degree. You've got no clutch to hang around with, so you've never got the hunting, or you've never got smooth cruise control to clutch control to worry about when you're in and around towns, because that you've always got power as and when you want it, and it is so easy to ride. If there's anybody that's got any doubts, that thinks that isn't the future, I'm sorry, you're wrong, because it is. Cars are already doing it, bikes are only a couple of stages before it, behind it, and before we know, this is going to be the norm. The technology is quite a way off, there's no doubt about that. The technology is quite a way off for me at the moment. If I had a Honda badge on it, it wouldn't look out of place, because it's really well made. It feels solid, it seems reliable, there's no knocks, there's no noises. It's just, it does what it's supposed to do really well. But for me, it's not quite there, and for that, it's going to get the lowest rating so far, I'm afraid, on the Tom Awesomeness scale. It's a 6. It's so close, it's so close. Go pop into your local dealers, give one a ride, you'll agree with me, I promise. So that's it, my 6-minute review, it's done. But do you know what I've missed out? Loads of people have been saying, Tom, you never do the noises of them. So just for a treat, check this bad boy out. Okay, get ready for it, she's fired up, ignition's on. It's deafening, isn't it? Just, what? Ooh. I'll do a ride by.